Hello, and this is Socrates for IM3D Graphics. Yes, we're going to work on putting in the front quarter panel for our Bugatti Veyron. So let's start off where we ended up last time. I think we saved it as Bugatti 2. And we're going to go ahead and bring in our backdrops. And close that out. And go to our second layer. That's where we're putting our splines. So the last time I did this, we're putting in this curve to the front wheel well, but I realized that I needed to bring it all the way down. So I'm going to click on a spot. I'm going to hit Shift and then right bracket. Okay, right closing bracket. I'm going to pull those points down. The reason I won't need to do this is because, like I was telling you before, when I'm making the spline cage, to apply patches, I need to have sets of 4, basically 4 sides. It don't matter what it is, but I've got to be able to click on 4 connecting splines to fill them with auto patches. And you'll see, when we start to do this, you'll understand why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. It doesn't make a lot of sense unless you've seen it in action. And we're going to do a little cleanup here, move some points so I can start welding the splines. It gets a little, the more splines you have, it's going to get a little messy. And when you do a weld, the second point or the last point you click to is the point everything will snap to. To go to detail, weld, you'll see 2 points were selected, and the first point snaps to the second point. Here I'm going to select 3 points. So I'm just going to hit Control W, and your window will pop up there. And because it appears that the hood was the last point selected, it kind of snapped in there, so we're going to make a small adjustment there. Hit T, move it back. Same thing for the windshield there. Hit Control, take 2 points, Control W, and do a little modification, and then weld what I just did here. See if I can find a point. Yes. Control W. So everything looks pretty good here. Just go ahead and tie the windshield into our spine, our spline spine. I just want to find a point that's close so I can move stuff around later. And also check the very top of the windshield. Yep, there's 2 points there. Control W. Looks pretty cleaned up there. I got 1 point. I'm checking. Basically, I'm looking at what I'm selecting in the bottom left hand corner where it says select or SEL. When you click on something, it tells you how many points you have. Just do a little modification in this corner here, kind of round it out a little bit. So everything looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it right now. So let's go ahead and put in the peak to our front. Well, first we're going to save this. I think it would be very prudent. So now we have a Bugatti 3. going to add in our, like I said, our peak to our front wheel well. And I'm just following the side contour of the of that peak, as you can see. And we start getting into some more, trying to add some more details. We'll actually start taking a look at some Bugatti images that are online. But I mean, I've seen a lot of this stuff already, so I kind of have a feel of what it's supposed to look like. And when you're doing this, you need to, be cognizant of the other orthogonal views, because what you do in one really affects. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to look like it's supposed to in the others. So it's just a rough outline of that peak there. I'm just moving it over, lining it up pretty good there. In a minute we'll go to points mode. We're going to do basically the same thing. We're going to click a point. I'm not liking how that kind of looks. It should be more sway. I'm just getting rid of some of the points that define that that hood area, so it's more of a smooth transition. So the same thing, just do a shift right bracket. Now to move a single point, because if I just hit T and move, I'll move all the points. But I just want to move individual points, so I'm just going to hit Control T and drag the points that I want into the position that I want. So just once I have the tool, Control T, I just highlight over the point that I want to select, left click and drag it. Again, looking at the top view, not just the side view, but the top view. Because if you notice, it's not a really straight line, that kind of curves in a little bit at the door there. Again, we don't want too much detail, but I do want to have a decent amount of form. I'm just checking to find out where this other point is. I don't have to add points. Sometimes you'll get a funky behavior if you go into polygonal mode and try to add points sometimes. I just found it easier just to find a point, move it, look in the top view, line it up as best you can, deselect the second point, select it again, so then when I hit Control W, that peak will snap to the edge of the car. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and put in our where the front quarter panel meets the door. I'm not going to be too precise, but because where this quarter panel and the door meets, that actually curves in a little bit, and I haven't really taken that into account as of yet. So I think I'm going to worry about that when I start doing my my sub patches and start to actually add some detail to the car. Like I said, right now I'm just want to get a basic form, the curves, and that's what's cool about auto patching, is once you have the spline cage in, you get nice curves. And I'm just suggesting the door. I know the door's got a nice curve on it. If you haven't seen the Bugatti, I said those doors do not come out as far as the wheel wells. They are recessed a bit. And I don't need that to come all the way down because I've already did that with the wheel well. I do want some curvature to that door. So that looks not too shabby. Let's do some final location of that door, or that back of the front fender there. Accept the tool. We're going to snap it to our wheel well. So I need to add a point here. Just go to Detail, Add Points, click on that polygon. It's roughly where you want that point. Normally, when you add a point to that the polygon, you'll see it'll move a little bit. And snap that peak. Do the same thing. Gonna add a point there so we can weld that to our polygon. That's something else about spline cages. When you start to sub patch, they have to be connected. I mean, basically, you're trying to make boxes. Control W to weld. I think we're just going to end that right about there. That's enough for now. I have to do a little bit of tweaking, but you can tell that's the nice front fender of our Bugatti Veyron. So we're going to go ahead and save this. And this is Socrates for IM 3D Graphics. Hope to see you in the next video. Out.